So, you've downloaded Procreate and you're ready to create some digital art, but maybe you're feeling a little lost. Don't worry, it's totally normal. Procreate is packed with features, and it can really be a bit overwhelming in the beginning. That's why I'm here. In this video, I'm breaking down the essentials, sharing the Procreate tips and tricks every beginner should know. Whether you're a doodler, a sketch artist, or just curious about digital art, this video is for you. And if you want to see more Procreate tutorials like this one, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future uploads. Let's start by getting familiar with the Procreate Playground, what you see on your screen. First off, you have the canvas. Think of this as your digital sheet of paper. It's where all the magic happens. You can create new canvases, and once you've created one, you can zoom in and out or even rotate it as you work. Over here on the right, we have the brush library. This is where the fun begins. Procreate has over 100 brushes built in. From pencils and inks to paintbrushes and textures, there's something for every style. And guess what? You can even create your own custom brushes. Nearby the brushes, you'll see the Layers panel. Think of layers like a stack of transparent sheets. These let you work on different parts of your drawing without messing up the rest. It's kind of like having unlimited undo buttons. On the furthest right, we have the Color panel. This is your color palette. Choose from a rainbow of colors or create your own custom shades. And finally, up top left, there are the Actions menu and other essential tools, your toolbox as it were. It's packed with handy features for transforming, adjusting, and even sharing your artwork. Now, let's get hands-on and explore some of the core tools and gestures that'll make creating in Procreate a breeze. First up, brush basics. Every brush in Procreate is like its own little world of possibilities. You can tweak its size, make it thicker or thinner, its opacity so that it's more see-through or solid, and even how much color flows out of each stroke. To adjust the flow, just tap on the brush you're using, then find the Dynamics tab. The flow slider is right there. Oh, and many brushes are also pressure sensitive. That means the harder you press, the thicker or darker your line will be. It's like having a real pencil or brush in your hand. Next, we have the selection tools. These are your precision tools. Want to move something, resize it, or even completely transform a part of your drawing? Selection tools give you that control. Speaking of transforming, we've also got the transform tools. These let you rotate, flip, or even distort parts of your artwork. It's like having magic at your fingertips. And finally, let's talk about essential gestures. Procreate is all about touch, so learning a few key gestures will make your life so much easier. 2-finger tap to undo, 3-finger swipe to copy and paste. Pinch out to zoom in, and pinch in to zoom out. These will speed up your workflow like crazy. Now let's unlock some Procreate magic with these awesome tips and tricks. First up is QuickShape. Want to draw a perfect circle or square? Just draw it and hold. Procreate will snap it into the shape for you. You can also select the Edit option here to further adjust the shape. Next, we have the Smudge tool. This is your go-to for blending. Use it to smooth out colors and create realistic effects. Now for one of my favorites, clipping masks. These are so cool. Clipping masks let you add textures or patterns only to a specific area. It's like having a digital stencil. And finally, Alpha Lock. This one's a lifesaver. Alpha Lock lets you color or shade inside a shape without going outside the outlines. Alright, let's put all this knowledge into practice with a very quick drawing. I'm going to create a very simplified, cute little donut, and you can follow along step by step. So first, I'm creating a new layer and calling it Sketch, and I'm grabbing my technical pen under inking. Now for the donut's body, we'll use QuickShape to make a perfect circle. Next, the donut hole, another smaller circle inside. Time for the frosting. I'm creating a new layer above the sketch and I will name it Frosting. I'm going to use a different brush for this, and I'm going to create an outline of some drippy frosting on the top half of the donut. Now for some sprinkles. New layer on top, named Sprinkles. Let's dot on colourful sprinkles all over the frosting. Time to colour. I'm going to go to my sketch layer and I'm going to duplicate it, and using a very light brown I'm going to flood fill it. Next, let's colour the frosting. Select the layer with the frosting shape, and I'm going to flood fill this with a bright pink. Let's add some texture to the frosting using a clipping mask. New layer above frosting color and select clipping mask. I'll fill this layer with the texture using a textured brush. Let's add some shading. We'll use clipping masks again to keep our shading contained. First, create a new layer above the frosting layer and select clipping mask so that the shading will only affect the shape of the frosting. Now I'll use the soft airbrush and a slightly darker shade of that pink to add a bit of shadow to the bottom of the frosting and in the shadow areas. To add shadows to the donut itself, you are going to follow the same process, and that is creating a clipping mask above the donut layer, selecting a darker brown, and using the soft airbrush to gently go over where the shadows would be on the donut. To give the frosting some dimension, let's add some highlights directly on top. I'll create a new layer above the frosting layer and make sure that it is a clipping mask too. I'm then going to use a lighter pink and some white and gently layer the color above the frosting layer. I'm also going to add highlights to the sprinkles using one of my inking brushes and pure white, and just drawing a little line to give the sprinkles depth and dimension. Almost done, but I feel like it's missing something, so I'm going to add a shadow beneath the donut. Create a new layer beneath the donut or drag it beneath the donut. You're then going to choose an appropriate shadow color, something like a very dark browny grey, and then you can fill in your shadow. If you're loving these tips and want to dive even deeper into the world of Procreate, I'd love for you to join me on Patreon. It's where I share exclusive tutorials, custom brushes, and tons of Procreate resources to help you unleash your creativity. Hit that subscribe button now, and thanks for watching.